Welcome to Amazing Top Trends. Like, share, subscribe, and share your thoughts in comment. Top 5 Scariest Moments Caught on Camera. 5. Hiker records video as mama bear and cubs follow him along trail. A mother grizzly bear and her 2 cubs followed a hiker, and he kept his cell phone camera rolling during the entire encounter. Most people would be paralyzed by fear, but not 74-year-old Jeffrey Glasnor, who was visiting National Park in Alaska recently when the bears followed him. Glasnor remained calm the whole time. He hoped the grizzly family would turn off the trail, but they just kept coming. The cubs wouldn't stop, and of course protective mother followed close behind.
Back to the camp. I'm walking down the trail, and mom and 2 cubs. So I am continually to walk backwards.
Talk about a close encounter. A mama grizzly and her 2 cubs follow a hiker, and he keeps his cell phone camera rolling.
And they're walking at least as fast as I am.
You can hear him breathing heavily, trying to figure out his next move.
And what I don't want to do is, as I'm walking backwards, is stumble.
The cubs were out in front of mom, and they were just playing around, and I was interesting to them. And my real worry was that they would get so close that Mama Bear would think I was a threat and then come after me.
The 74-year-old from California was visiting a national park in Alaska. He hoped the grizzly family would turn off the trail and stop following him.
Oh, come on, guys, give me a break.
The cubs just wouldn't stop, and of course protective mama followed close behind.
Cubs just keep coming. Oh, come on.
Most times they'll just turn around and walk away, but there's always a possibility that a bear will charge you.
In the end, what the bears were really looking for was a spot to cool off, and they found it, leaving one hiker thanking his lucky star.
4. Mom and kids get trapped in car that ended up standing on bumper after crash. What looked like something out of an action movie was real life for a Connecticut mom and her 2 children as their car upended and they found themselves trapped. The family's vehicle was actually left standing straight up in the air in West Suffield on Wednesday. "I need someone to come quickly. We're facing straight up. My 2 kids are in the car, please hurry," panicked mom Lisa Bewley told 911 operators.
As a mom and her 2 kids find themselves trapped in an upended car. The vehicle is actually standing straight up in the air.
"I need someone to come quickly. We're facing straight up. My 2 kids are in the car. Please hurry."
The bizarre accident happened when kindergarten teacher Lisa Bolier was driving in a lightning storm with little Drew and Noella outside Hartford, Connecticut. A telephone pole suddenly snapped in half, and Lisa somehow ended up in this crazy position. It's even worse than it looks because the car is caught in a power cable.
Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! I think the thing is gonna fall. You have to hurry. I don't know if I should turn my car off or not.
It was a cable that was low to the ground, and my car somehow got tangled in it, and then instead of snapping, the wire just kind of like slingshotted back up and carried my car with it.
Stay in the vehicle. Do not get out of the vehicle for any reason.
Okay.
Okay, keep the windows up. Okay, do not leave the vehicle. Okay.
Are we safe in the vehicle?
Yes, ma'am. As long as you stay inside the vehicle and the windows are up.
It was an excruciating wait for help to arrive.
Is the fire department coming?
Everybody is on the way.
You promise?
Yes, ma'am. They're on the way right now. I'm going to stay on the phone with you until they get there, okay?
So make sure we're safe?
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want to get electrocuted.
You won't, ma'am. As long as you stay in the car, you will not get electrocuted.
When fire crews get there, as promised, the cool-headed 911 dispatcher stays on the line with Lisa for another 30 minutes.
How are your kids doing?
They're okay. They're scared. They're very scared.
That's why you need to stay as calm as possible, okay?
He was just very reassuring with every question that I asked him.
Lisa and her children got out safe and
3. Skydiving grandma talks about her scary leap. A skydiving pensioner who refused to get out of the plane was left hanging precariously from her instructor as a tandem dive went dangerously wrong. The 80-year-old desperately tried to cling onto the door after apparently deciding she no longer wanted to do the jump. As her harness came loose, the woman, named Laverne, was left dangling from her instructor as she hurtled towards the ground at 125 miles per hour. In the dramatic video, the woman's tandem diver can be seen clinging onto her safety harness, which had slipped down her legs during the jump in California. As they plummet towards the ground, the woman's top flies up, exposing her back to the high-speed winds. The cameraman, a separate jumper filming the whole experience, comes over to help as the pair get into difficulties.
I just held on. You do what you got to do, you know.
Laverne says even though it appears she was having second thoughts before jumping,
my knees had given out inside the plane there.
Grabbing hold of the airplane door, she says her instructor did not force her out.
I kind of froze, I guess you would say. Put yourself in my position. I think you'd be holding on too. He had to give me a little nudge.
As they approach 125 miles an hour straight down, Laverne says it's a blessing that her shirt blew up, blocking her view.
I had just one little peek hole there of light to shine through. I didn't get to see anything.
Oh my God!
After a nightmare ride, Laverne and her instructor eventually reached the safety of terra firma. She is shaken, but apparently not hurt.
I fell. I had a rough landing.
The company that makes Everett's harness says someone loosened it to make her feel more comfortable, that the instructor should have checked it for a proper fit. Even before she jumps, you can see it has slipped off her shoulder where it should be. Everett is just glad she made it out.
2. What to do if you're ever followed by a mountain lion. 2 hikers in California got the shock of their lives when they came face to face with a mountain lion. Brian McKinney and Sam Vonderheide were on the High Sierra Trail in Sequoia National Park on July 23 when they locked eyes with the beast as it stood stoic on the mountain. The hikers, who recorded the incident, contemplated what to do. One wanted to run away, but the ferocious cat looked ready to pounce.
Hikers are about to
At
have
the end of the clip, they slowly back away from the beast.
It's a mountain lion, still as a statue, glaring down at them. He blends right in with the background. Now listen as the hikers debate what to do next.
What are we supposed to do, back up?
I don't know.
What are you supposed to do?
I don't know. I don't think you're supposed to run or go away from it.
The ferocious cat looks like it's ready to pounce.
Be careful. Just whistle if it comes at us.
I can't find it.
Back up.
Brian McKinney and Sam Vanderhyde are the hikers who filmed that chilling video at Sequoia National Park.
We didn't want to turn our back to it, and we didn't want to move quickly. We were trying to remain very calm. I think we did a pretty good job. We talked to rangers, and they all said you did all the right things.
1. Hero dad saves son's life from flying baseball bat. The father and son duo were watching the Pittsburgh Pirates play the Atlanta Braves in a spring training game in Orlando, Florida, when a bat flew into the stands. So Sean did what any dad would do, he threw his arm up, and shielded his child's face. Landon was looking down at his phone to send his mother a text when Sean saw the bat slip out of the hands of Pirates outfielder Danny Ortiz.
Sean Cunningham and his 8-year-old son Landon love to play baseball. But while sitting as spectators at a Braves game, they got much closer to the action than they expected.
The bat came flying at me. My dad did this to it to block me.
From that moment on, these photos capturing that split-second save went viral.
It was going so fast I didn't even hear it.
Sitting 3 rows behind the Braves dugout, Landon was trying to send a photo of Pirates player Danny Ortiz to his mom, using his dad's cell phone.
I was watching the game and I saw the bat flying. It just slipped out of Danny Ortiz's hand and I saw it heading towards him, and it was moving pretty quick, so I didn't have a lot of time. I guess call it dad mode, just protecting my son.
Response on social media is hailing that dad reflex the most heroic play of the game.
It's a good-sized wood bat. It definitely would have left a mark, on an 8-year-old kid, especially in the face.
Instead, Dad took the hit.
It left a pretty good bruise and mark, but it's getting better.
Landon only felt the tip of the bat strike his shoulder as it flew over his head.